Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. With me, Matt. We have a 2v2 on Wolfhense, a map from Company of Heroes 1, I believe. Now, but this should be a little bit of an interesting one. Each side has one player who's new to the mod, so this should be interesting. Let's go through them. We have Venamun as the Soviet Union, of course, and we have the Phantom Mushroom as artillery division for the Soviet Union. Okay. And for the Germans, we have Queen Goats as the Wehrmacht without a commander yet. Oh, he just went like the, or they just went like the rather. And we have Lenin UA Hand as Panzerjäger Tactics for the Waffen-SS. This should be an interesting little conflict, hopefully. Now, OBS, my recording software, just had an update today, so hopefully it hasn't screwed over any of my settings. Hopefully you will not notice any big differences. So the Soviets are moving down here. They're not actually securing their territory, they're moving troops into the building instead. Okay. I guess this is the new player. It did say both sides would have a new player, and it looks like both new players will be fighting down here. While both the experienced players, I imagine, will be fighting up here. That should be an interesting little engagement then. We can see how it turns out. The Soviets will be able to get a lot of territory quickly if they utilize their conscripts correctly. But we also have the SS Grenadiers set up in here, and we have some Sturm Grenadiers coming up behind it. Horse Grenadiers coming out for the Wehrmacht. They're southwards. Panzerfaust already being handed out to the Sturm Grenadiers. That's damn quick. Probably expecting some kind of early vehicle. No commander choice yet for Venamun. Soviets need to get going with all their troops. Soviets are securing their fuel now at this point. Good to see. So the Sturm Grenadiers are engaging with the conscripts out here in the open. You also have some more SS Grenadiers coming in. A cheaper unit you can get if you're playing as Panzerjäger. To help you show up your front line without having to rely entirely on Sturm Grenadiers. Pretty decent to have as a frontline infantry. Those conscripts are in big trouble though. The Sturm Grenadiers are very accurate. They're pretty good infantry for their cost. They've secured the southern point here. We have a Maxim coming out. And because they're playing as artillery, they could actually, if they want to, upgrade them with 3 extra men. So essentially get 9-man weapon teams. Which is truly a unique thing for artillery division. Oh, and we have a motor going out for the other Soviet player. Okay. So Germans are setting up in the train station and everything. Trying to hold this railroad junction somewhere in Eastern Europe. This is definitely not Wolfhesse. This is somewhere in Eastern Europe, obviously. What were you thinking? Maxim setting up. That's gonna threaten the Sturm Grenadiers' position in time. Throw smoke grenade going out. Oh, but the Sturm Grenadiers went down! Oh, that's a big loss. Sturm Grenadiers are not the easiest to replace. But he already has 2 Grenadiers and an MG34 coming out. Take up going on behind us. Kubelwagen as well. Just the Wehrmacht and Waffen-SS will be able to coordinate here and defend the train station. Maximus out in the open. That's not going to help it too much. Let's see how this goes. Also, we have the Belgian Gates, I believe this one is called. It's like a Belgian Gate type of thing. Another Maxim coming out here for the other Soviet player. Lots of machine guns coming out for the Soviet Union. Also a small AT coming out as well, a 45mm. And a mortar coming out for the artillery division. Which you can also give 3 men if you want. So artillery division can really buff up their support teams if they want to invest in it. Gewehr 43 is handed out to the Grenadiers. And MD34 covering the center here. That's going to make it very difficult for the Soviets to push up. Mortar set up. The Soviets playing Silver Fort HQ down here. That's what I'm thinking. What's the mortars barraging? Mortar shells landing at the German front line. Ooh, killing a pioneer. MD-34 handed out to the SS Grenadiers. Let them show up the front line. Looks like the battlefield is in the Germans' favor at the moment. They control the munitions point here. Actually, they control both munitions points. They actually barbed wiring up the front line down here to stop the Soviets from flanking. But Soviets are taking up for vehicles by looks of it, or getting more support weapons. Oh, he's in range to actually be, he's actually in range here to be reinforced. Also, Max moved up and then got killed by looks of it. That kinda sucks. Here's the 45mm. 45mm should be pretty decent. It actually is sniping people inside the building. Which I do technically would make a real good way of using it, in all honesty. It's an accurate little AT gun. Once a week in the field having been armed with the PTRD. It's essentially a bolt action version of the PTRS. Fires a pretty big armor piercing bullet. Oh, we also have some Panzer Grenadiers arriving in a truck, ready to be unloaded at the front line. We have Dragon's Teeth going up as well. Okay, they are really, the Wehrmacht is really blocking up this part of the front line. Mortar is already starting to do a little bit. Not doing too much yet, only gotten 2 kills. But it is continuously pounding at the German lines. And the second mortar is coming up. Because he's playing as artillery, I believe he does get access to the heavy mortar later, which can be a really big difference. The heavy mortar can really shell a German front line into submission. We have the Panzer Grenadiers moving up. But they're coming into range of the Maxim. Now in the open, they're getting mowed down. The Soviets really need to pull something on the other front here. So I assume this is the experienced Soviet player then. Not the one in the northern front. But it seems most of the fighting is just very static at the moment. Germans have prepared everything they need to hold the front line here though. Soviets need to invest in some more. There's an SS mortar up. Trying to fire back at the Soviet one. So we have shells landing all over the training fields here where soldiers have been practicing by the looks of it. The Soviets will just keep shelling. Oh, Soviets already taking up for a tango bite, that was quick. Suppose there's not been too much battle, so nobody has a lot of CP at the moment, which means we're not going to see heavier vehicles for a while, I imagine. Oh, good mortar shell there, healing a conscript. Oh, but the train station is on fire! So the Soviets are denying that to the Germans. Grenadiers quickly have to get out of there. There's the tank command already, although they don't have enough CP to get anything out. But everything also requires command points in Spearhead, if you're wondering. You can't just turtle up and take up without doing any fighting. You actually need to be out there and actively doing stuff to get your command points up. More to say the SS side of the battlefield now. And the Soviets, I mean, have the advantage of being near the base, so they actually able to reinforce. Oh! Direct hit destroying the mortar! Oh god, that's lucky. Penal troops being prepared. Probably a good choice to try and capture this point. Because penal troops actually capture points much faster than others. Which is kind of the point. They're meant to be like something you throw out there while under fire, but still get the point captured. That is kind of the whole deal behind them. And it's good to see penals actually being utilized. Trafniki. Oh, all the Soviets already teched up for tanks as well. They are preparing. I think the Germans need to get very, very prepared for whatever will happen next. Yeah, with the train station on fire, that's definitely going to change things. They actually dug a bunker on the train road, or on the railroad. Probably not the best place to do it. So the conscripts trying to push up down here, but they've noticed the Germans have dug in a lot heavily here. Dragon's Teeth and everything. Here's the penals. 9-man squad being armed with stolen MP40s. I would personally have thrown them out here to just get the point taken. Because there's probably too much here. Oh, Soviet constantly inside there. Oh, and that's a lot of gunfire on the Kuberwagen killing it. Here comes the penal troops. Oh, they're hitting inside the train station? Oh, they're gonna deny that train station for a while. Uh-oh. Germans getting very close here with the truck. Then rage of the base. Oh, and a very good AT grade destroying everything there. Very nice stuff from the conscripts. And the penal troops are sacrificial here by the looks of it. They're not going to be able to get much of a job done. And I don't think they'll get out of there. They might if they're lucky. And looks like they will, okay. So it looks like the Soviets got a little bit of an upper hand there. Half-track coming up for the Wehrmacht. Mthis is getting a Puma. Sis-3 arriving for the Soviet Union use as an artillery piece. Double Sis-3! Nice! It's a little bit of a battery up here to pound at the German line. More Maxim and more penals coming out for the Soviets. SS officer out in the open, probably not a good place for him. Soviets are preparing to push up now. That's an opening. SVT's armed on the conscripts here. You'd have to get them as stolen MP40s if you were playing as artillery, as you can see. We got the Puma. Looks like we have a supply drop coming over here. With some more weapons there dropping in for the Germans. An MG34 and a PaK-40. Nice. But the Soviets need to secure this central point here if they can. Which I'd really recommend you can send a penal to do, because they capture points exceptionally fast. That's also a very brave move from that mortar. But it's out of range of the machine gun currently. Puma went down to an AT gun. Yeah, it looks like we have a lot of mortars going out from both sides. Wehrmacht mortars will half-track with double Panzer Grenadiers inside. That's a really... They go for a mechanized assault, okay. You're gonna need to find an opening for it, though. Axe are moving out. And penals coming up behind. Already been down with their MP40s. Other ones being out with MP40s as well. The idea is being shot by a lot of rifles there. Oh, those Grenadiers are in bad trouble. And the penals are securing the point. You can see how fast they capture the point here compared to other units. Like, it's really fast. But they got pinned. They do actually have an ability to break being pinned, but I don't think he used it. Like, they have this one for Stalin that breaks suppression. So you can actually use that to quickly capture a point or just get close to the enemy. Although you will suffer heavy losses if you get close to them like that. Most of it just down with pistols, by the way. Back in the day, they actually used to some of them used to not have any guns at all, which made them a very fascinating thing to play. Okay, it looks like it's being very heavy here. Oh, T-34's arrived already for the Soviet Union. That's quick.
The enemy has killed another infantry squad.
So far looking very good. T-34 is definitely being very aggressively used here. Germans are lacking in good AT at the moment. I actually do have a PaK-40, my bad. Battle lines are still very static. Soviets have still not secured the central point, even though they did try. T-34 is definitely distracting the Germans pretty well here. Sturmgewehrs handed out to the Sturmgrenadiers, a unique thing you can give them if you're Panzerjäger. Can make your Sturmgrenadiers a lot more potent. This freeze opening fire again. More T-34s coming up behind this as well. So the Soviets are really preparing to push up with their armored forces. That is the Panzerjäger though. Ooh, missed. And we also have some Panzergrenadiers from the 17th. Pretty good unit. Good shot from the pack. And while the Wehrmacht has prepared for a mechanized assault here, flamethrowers and everything. So they're gonna drive straight to the enemy lines. Nope, if you will excuse me. I just need to do something quick. I'll just pause it here. You'll not notice much. My apologies, my washing just got done and I had to activate the machine to get into the next mode, so it doesn't just stay there and stay wet for too long. Oh, that PTID is doing a good job from that trench. Oh yeah, that goes the engine on that half-track, but the Germans are getting closer still. Oh, it's injured the driver, and here comes the flamethrower. Needs to get those Panzergrenadiers out. Staying inside is very bad. Oh, yeah. Pretty risky mechanized assault. Should probably have smoked the area first. That PTID has done a lot of good work here. And also there's a T-34. Boom is still alive though somehow. There it goes. But Soviets are still not secured. Also, it's begun raining in the game. I just noticed there's actually raining on the battlefield. Okay. Soviets grabbed the Panzerbüchs, but they're not capturing their fuel. They should probably focus on doing that first. Yeah, they're not expecting it would start raining inside the game now. That's with thunderstorms too. Okay. This is becoming different. Also, I might have to pause again at some point, mostly because I'm also waiting for my food that I ordered. You'll not notice that at all. Hopefully not anyway. Soviets are now securing their fuel again. Good to see. But now it's just going to turn into a muddy battlefield with storms. Okay. I did not expect this would happen at all. This opening fire there with the artillery. Definitely an interesting concept for a battle like this. Panzer just moving up here. Around the opening, that's the T-34, it's a bad move. The T-34 being prepared by the Soviet Union. Lots of artillery by both Soviets. Holy shit. You have a Stukier rhyming for the Waffen-SS though. Needs to be very cautious. Oh yeah, it got killed there. Too much guns were pointing at it.
A medium tank was destroyed.
More officers arriving for the Soviet Union though. And I think my food has arrived. Be right back again. Let me just pause it here. My apologies, just my food arrived and everything, and I decided I ate, but now we're back in action. Let's focus. Looks like the Soviets are still bombing the SS pretty hard. Again, my apologies, but this just kind of came up out of nowhere. I guess they were done a lot faster than I thought they would be, and this match is a little bit longer than I thought it would be. Anyway, let's see how the Soviets are going to turn this around with lots of T-34s coming onto the field. Don't think Germans have enough to stop that yet. The Wehrmacht especially doesn't have a lot of heavy AT equipment. They have one pack. That might definitely not be enough if the Soviets decide to actually move up. Of course, the Soviets actually do have to move up. Only the rain, everything's just sitting in the rain. Oh, good shot from the pack right there. Injuring the driver. They're reloading quickly. Taking a while for the pack to reload there. Oh, no penetration. Come on, pack. Oh, still no penetration. I'm supposed to reload it, and mortar shells are landing around the pack now. MG gone. But the pack did win out in the end by the looks of it.
The enemy has destroyed one of our vehicles.
More conscripts under the field. Mthis troops are moving up as much as they can anyway. Panzer is getting into a cover position there. The Soviets just need to figure out what to do, I think. As they definitely have the advantage to push up if they want to. German has set up a strong point down here, but they're quite clumped up. Until they're going in on the Soviet positions though. Killing one of the penal squads entirely. Indeed, your poor penals. You can always get more of them. Looks like we have an officer coming in here to take a hold of this building. Oh no, he's waiting by the door. Well, he can actually get an MG44 if you get him to veteran 2. Interesting. Yes, the Panzer Grenadiers armed with the LMG-42 with 100 rounds. A unique weapon to, well, not really a unique weapon, but a very strong weapon in the hands of these units. 100 rounds on an MG-42 is pretty handy, but they've been suppressed by the Maxims. There's a lot of firepower coming in over this area. That's really called in, though. Storm Grenadiers moving upwards. They will land shortly, though. Looks like it's heavy howitzers. So it's still not secured that point yet. Storm Grenadiers inside the building now with the STGs. Shooting into the conscripts. But lots of firepower is coming into the building itself. Also another officer out here. Storm Pioneers starts trying to set up sandbags as much as they can, but there's another T-54 already clearing out the pack. The Germans are lacking in AT equipment on most of the fronts. They have to relocate this back quickly. Storm Pioneers are equipping the pack quickly, manning it. Wow, this T-54 might be in a cross shot. There we go. Yeah, it's being shot from several angles. Artillery going in as well. But it's not looking too good for the packs here. They require the crew to load it. Oh, and a heavy shot just landed and pulled in by this officer. Artillery pulling in the Maxim up here. Oh, killing them. MG-44 still beside the building. But that building is going to be under a lot of fire. Looks like the rain is stopping. Stroop coming in after this. Very interesting. So we actually had a small storm happen and then the storm ended. That's a cool little effect here on this map. I did not know Wolfheads had that. MT-42 down here, manned by Panzer Grenadiers. Also Grenadiers with an LMG-42, just a 50-round version. More Stuks being back. Also a howitzer going up for the Soviet Union. A 122mm howitzer. Soviets on the northern front are still not pushing up yet. Stuk has arrived for the Waffen-SS though. And more artillery called in by the SS officers. That's actually sector artillery. And that's a pretty big sector. So that's a lot of shells that's gonna land everywhere around here. Yeah, and it's already getting a lot of kills on the Soviets. Immobilizing one of the T-34s actually. Oh, and that's a pretty big sector for sector artillery. There's one T-54 goes down as well.
Brave infantry have made the ultimate sacrifice.
Man, that artillery's still going. There we go, now it ended.
We have lost one of our armored
Perhaps
vehicles.
Mthis is trying to push up. Looks like some of them are pulling back anyway. Munitions airdropped in for the Soviets, but it'll be very difficult to keep a hold of it because the Germans are just going to move up to steal it. But there's a Maxim pinning them.
AT gun is ready.
Soviet House also opening fire. But he's not hitting the right area. More conscripts hitting the field. HU-76 on the field as well.
Strafbat needs orders.
And more Slavniki have been called in as well. Stuk A arriving for the Wehrmacht. A short-nosed Stuk that can be utilized for anti-infantry duties, actually. You can actually arm it entirely with high explosives if you want to deal with infantry. It's a pretty useful little vehicle. Stuk is trying to push up here on the other flank, but the Sis Frees are being remanned. Oh, this is actually got one of the Stuks. There's another Stuk here being repaired quickly. Oh, let's see what happens. The Stuk A has been loaded with high explosives. That's gonna make it a lot more lethal. Especially to deal with all these Soviet weapons.
We got them. Enemy AT gun destroyed.
Good utilization of the Stuks. Mthis is also pushing up heavily again. Not sure what this lone Soviet soldier is trying to do. Yeah, he got mowed down.
One of our troops have been lost. Do you need something? Not too
Stuk E is supported by an F8, which can also be loaded with high explosive only if you want. So the Stuks can actually be very multi-purpose here for the Wehrmacht Leichte. Oh, PTRD actually got the tracks on the Stuk E. I'm surprised that the tank rifle is doing such a good job. Very fascinating. So they actually killed it. Anti-tank rifles and 20 to kill the Stuk. That's really impressive, actually. Well, now the Soviet houses are firing close range again to the front line.
inflicting losses upon us.
That's a lot of firepower coming in. What's really going on in the Soviet lines?
The enemy has killed another infantry squad.
It looks like the Mthis is pushing up aggressively now. Well, they're lacking infantry to do so. All the infantry is back at base reinforcing. But I guess this Untersturmführer is leading the charge. But he's moving straight into AT guns. And there goes Untersturmführer himself. Stuk F8 on the upper ground here, or higher ground. Being hit by the PTRD. And Howitzers again firing close range. Now there's no machine gun for the Soviets down here anymore. The T-54 coming in. Panzer 4G coming up behind this for the Wehrmacht. But this is getting another Stuk G.
Panzer 4
is ready for battle.
Oh my god, the PTD got the tracks again. I'm surprised that the anti-tank rifles are doing so much damage to the Stuks. Not direct damage on the Stuk F8, but still. That T-51 needs to keep driving. You don't want to stay in the front of a Stuk. Oh yeah, that's bad. But now he got out of the cannon range. But they fixed its tracks.
We are losing Soldaten.
Eagles moving up to try and capture the point, I think. More artillery shells are landing. Yeah, the Soviet artillery's gotta hit her very hard. But the Soviet flank on the north has been pushed back to their base. It's not looking good here. Mthis is pushing up a Panzer Grenadier slowly now. And now the armored elements are present, but they're getting immobilized by these anti-tank rifles. This is so unusual. This PTRD in this trench has done so much damage alongside the Panzerbüchse on the Sabers. And more munitions that's being airdropped in. House is opening fire close range though. Molotov going in. We probably have thrown the satchels there. Oh yeah, that hurts.
Infantry has been killed. Death before retreat.
Man, there's fire. There's a firefight going on over most of the front here. Panzerwerfer opening fire from the Germans. Probably in this area. Yep.
We must protect our HQ.
Didn't do too much damage though. But the trench is almost cleared with the PTRD in it. We have Odon coming in here now for Venamon. Just an Odon engineer squad by the looks of it. Panzer Force almost down, he's lost his engine.
Penal troops are standing by.
More penals coming in. Oh, a penal battle group has been called in. Arriving with flamethrowers. Wehrmacht has barely any infantry left. They removed their vehicles. Mthis has enough infantry, they even got more Panzer Grenadiers called in. Actual Odon's troops called in as well. The Soviet howitzers are still pounding those Stuks. Well, that tank and the Stuk. We're not looking good there for the tanks.
We have a new T-34 standing by.
They're gonna satchel them. Yep. That's what you're supposed to do.
We have lost a machine gun crew.
See, now I have some good uses of the penals right there. Immobilize them with that hero PTRD and then penal rush them and burn them up and throw satchel charges. That's how you do it. But Soviets have taken heavy losses, but they do have 2 veteran C2 howitzers now, which they need to utilize pretty well because the Germans are getting a lot of vehicles now to compensate. But Wehrmacht is basically out of infantry at this point, which is gonna hurt. Mthis is doing a lot of a better job on their side of the field though, as the map gets a little bit darker by the looks of it. Pretty rude to call them that. before being decrewed there. Another attempt to try and clear out the houses with the Panzerwerfers didn't work by the looks of it. More CIS batteries are present for the Soviets, but they are lacking in more things to push upwards with. Another Panzerwerfer firing. Didn't do that much by the looks of it. Now Mthis down to just an F8, a Panzer ready, and the Pioneers alongside the Panzerwerfers. Oh, that's not a lot. That's not a lot. The F8 is going to have a lot of work cut out for it. But there is a Panzer IV battle group up here alongside the Waffen-SS, which could threaten the Soviet base here. And now it's turning really dark. Does it not have a night-day cycle? It looks like it might just be overcast or something. Hard to say. It was very stormy just before, so it could just be a very big and thick dark cloud. Now the Panzer IVs moving forwards. There's nothing here to stop them but the scissors. Good shot on the scissors though. Oh, good shot from a Piat. Piat on the Odon actually did a good job. Artillery called in here though. Forcing the scissors to move. They don't move, they're gonna get blown to pieces. Yeah.
Brave infantry have made the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah, well, the Russians have finally secured that point. The Soviets just need the infantry to head up and threaten the Wehrmacht front here. But the howitzers are definitely bombing their German positions. This northern Soviet front though needs some more equipment. The Waffen-SS can slowly push in at this point. They might actually start diverting troops to the other flank, yes, if we can see. They go for this munitions cache, but there's a T-34. Yeah, well, the houses just keep powering the Wehrmacht. The Panzerwerfers are moving up again. They're opening fire. They cleared one of the howitzers. And the Soviets are trying to move for the open here, which is not working.
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
Very interesting. So we need to recruit that howitzer. Munitions cache also went down. There might actually be the fuel cache. I'm not sure anymore. Foliage being prepared by the Panzer Grenadiers.
A squad of pioneers has arrived.
Putting up some light cover.
Forward structure under attack.
It will allow them to hide, I think.
Task complete.
The howitzers just keep firing. But the Soviets cannot just sit back idly, they need to push. Especially because their base is threatened up here. And a Panther is coming in for the division, so that's definitely gonna be a threat to the Soviets. The Panther should not be underestimated, even if it is, I believe, Panther A. So it's like an early version of the Panther. It's still good, but it's not as good as the Panther that Panzer and Jäger gets access to.
Panther ready. Ready for orders.
Still 1,300 armor rating on the front, that's not bad at all. But it's not nearly as fast as we can see. More penals called in. Lots of penals, actually. Looks like he's going for the Kampfkraft center and upgrading the infantry veterancy. He should get some more infantry then if he's gonna get that. So the front line is still under fire here. But the Panzergrenadiers are not gonna have an easy time pushing up on it. More artillery called in. Oh yeah, that is some big howitzers. That's probably some 12 centimeter mortars actually. That Panzer being prepared as well. That'll be able to cut for any of the Soviet vehicles on the field at the moment. More munitions being airdropped in for the Soviet Union. Still not recruit that howitzer.
You need something?
Panzergrenadiers opening fire again. Demolishing much of the front line here. And more artillery called in here as well. Although there's a lot of artillery being utilized by both sides. The Soviet howitzers just keep firing. I think he was trying to catch them there, but he's smart at moving the Panzerwerfers back each time. Well, the other Soviet base is being bombed again by artillery. It's not looking good for it.
More of our troops have been lost.
Jagdpanzer has arrived.
Now the Panther has revealed itself. The Soviets are lacking an AT down here. Oh, the Soviet front line is not doing too well. They're suffering heavy losses on most of the places actually. And the Panther is slowly going to creep up, but it needs more infantry support. It only has one Panzergrenadier unit nearby. I'd at least say have two to support it. One on each side basically. But the house is still opening fire. One more so. Oh, another house is coming up for the Soviets. This one is probably to support their ally against the Mthis. The Panther is slowly moving up. I think the Soviets have what it takes to stop it. A lot of penals will try to rush it though. Oh, and these penals might get close enough. Meanwhile, more artillery is going in on the Soviet northern base. But I don't think the Soviets can do much to stop this Panther. They don't have the equipment.
AT gun is ready for combat.
They have called in another assist though. That's only a 57mm. Oh, and the Panzerwerfers hit the other base. And the Mthis is preparing to make their push, I think. This might be over for the Soviet Union. Oh, that house shot just flew straight over the Panther. So we're still trying to fight up here. But the Jagdpanzer will just stop any tank. I think the Soviets didn't capital. Oh, the Panther's been immobilized, but I don't think the Soviets capitalized on their advantage early here. They should probably just have kept pushing, but the Germans have been allowed to somehow make a comeback with their vehicles, and the Waffen-SS has just fought bravely and held on up here. Lots of artillery will probably be called in at this Panther though. Also the 57mm sitting up here. But it's being hit by a lot of weapons. Oh, direct shot from a howitzer right there. Almost killed the Panther. What's this brave conscript gonna do? Oh my god, he got it with an AT grenade. When he got killed by the pioneers. Yeah, the Wehrmacht needs more infantry. The Waffen-SS is trying to push up with his Panzer Grenadiers, but there's still base defenses keeping them at bay. If the Germans can get through those base defenses, they can overrun the northern Soviet flank, and then they can circle around and force the Soviets to surrender, I think.
Guards troops ready for action.
Standing by. Send orders.
And some few has been armed with an LMG-42, apparently. Probably found it on the ground. Have some few taking up cover here. And yeah, the base defenses are still there. Although very weakened. Artillery called in here. More penals are called in, and another T-34 arriving.
Strafbat needs orders.
Oh, a Katusha arriving for Benamun, but that might be a little bit late. But it's good to see the initiative. But the Soviet Northern Front is just being too heavily hit. Panzerwerfers opening fire again. Oh, pretty good timing there. He didn't do as much damage as one might have hoped.
Fresh grenadier squad. A Panther has arrived from the fatherland.
Another Panther has arrived. And here's the Katusha, but it might be a little bit too close to the fighting. Well, that's danger close. Yeah, he had to stop there immediately with the barrage. That's gonna be a while before this thing can fire again.
A squad of infantry has been killed. Death before retreat.
Oh, we have to see a lot more grenadiers now arriving. Because he realized he needs infantry. But the Soviet howitzers are still trying to hunt down at the location for the Panzerwerfers, hitting all over the German front line.
Ready for orders.
But Germans have secured the fuel down here, so the noose is tightening. And the northern Soviet front is looking worse and worse for wear. Looks like even the Katusha went down quickly. Panzer Grenadiers and Sturm Grenadiers are slowly pushing up. Jagdpanzer moving up as well. Getting a good shot there in the T-34. Whoa, but the T-34 penetrated. That's rare. Here comes the Grenadiers. They just need to not get too close, then they'll be able to beat the Penals with ease. But the Soviet houses are still raining down hell. Can't even tell this was once a place soldiers were training. Oh, Penals grabbed the flamethrower. But the Soviets are still keeping a hold on it. And the houses are still just raining down artillery shells everywhere. But here's another Panther. Germans need to stop that 57. There we go. What they need to ensure is just that it doesn't get immobilized. Speaking of the devil, immobilization seems to happen a lot. Yeah, I don't think these strappers can stay there for long. The MG on the turret is still cutting them down. The Soviets are still holding on, surprisingly. I applaud that, but there's gonna be a Jagdtiger arriving shortly. And what the hell are the Soviets gonna be able to do against the Jagdtiger? They can't even scratch that thing. It's not frontally.
Jagdtiger, ready for action.
And the Panzer Grenadiers and Sturm Pioneers keep advancing slowly. But here's the Jagdtiger. Arriving at Sector 2 thanks to the Kampfkraft Center.
Jagdtiger ready.
And he's actually going for Veterancy 3 for it, so that's going to be a Veterancy 3 Jagdtiger. It's going to be very useful. But the northern Soviet flank has, by looks of it, completely collapsed. There's nothing left to stop the Germans from moving in. Moving in they do.
Fresh Guards troops are standing by.
And they've reached the Soviet base.
More of our troops have been lost.
I just need to destroy the Soviet base buildings, and
HQ is under attack.
they've essentially won this. Because the Soviets cannot do this on their own. Or one Soviet anyway. Good brave attempt though with the Penals here. Yeah, they're just chewing them to pieces now. But there are more T-34s arriving. Well, that Panzer Grenadier might actually go down. If not for the Jagdpanzer saving it.
The enemy has destroyed one of our vehicles.
Enemy spot described, engage. Pioneers ready for
Only one howitzer remaining. But the Panther got destroyed again, oh god.
The enemy has destroyed.
Not that much luck with Panthers these days. He's not the liked one. Yeah, the Soviets are just delaying the inevitable at this point, I think. Hey, brave attempts though, I will definitely say that. And they seemingly don't do much. More T-34s slowly trying to get onto the field to try and stop this, but there's no stopping what's happening.
Our command post is under assault.
Stand ready.
I suppose from the Jagdtiger here. This hits, it's gonna be painful. Oh, yeah, that is a big boom. Guess the Germans pulled a lot of good stuff into this one to hold this area. I guess this train track is very important. But what though? Probably very questionable things. Oh, Panzerwerfer opening fire again. Stolen Panzerfaust going on. Did not penetrate. Maximum managed to suppress the German troops. As he pinning some of them.
Anti-tank gun is ready for action.
Now the Germans have grabbing the Soviet howitzers. Yeah, they're just delaying the inevitable.
Our command post is under assault.
Definitely been a little bit more of an interesting battle, so with lower skilled players you see a lot more different tactics being utilized. Really. And that howitzer shot really overshot there. Because the Germans don't know how to calibrate Russian guns. I just destroyed the 2 last buildings already.
The enemy is attacking our HQ.
There we go. Well, that was an interesting match. I hope you all enjoyed. I certainly enjoyed most of it, and I apologize for the inconvenient pauses I had to do. I'll see you all in the next one, everyone. Bye-bye.